Hi Cancer, welcome to Pure Tarot. I'm doing a reading for the new moon in Taurus that's going to happen on April 30th. There's an eclipse as well, right? It's going to be within the range of the North Node, so that's a very interesting new moon. It'll be more potent being an eclipse. It's a partial eclipse, but still. So we're going to draw some cards to get a feeling for that energy, but it's mostly like just the backdrop for the reading, right? So if you know your chart, obviously you might want to correlate this more with, what you know is happening and how the transits are actually hitting your chart. That's all up to you. I'm using the Dark Days Tarot. It's a deck in honor of the phases of the moon, and dark days being the dark moon for obviously the new moon. Hence why I'm using this. So out of this deck, I want to pull just one card to get an overarching energy. And you have 3 cards. They came as a little pile. I will take them. Especially, I have to show you. The first one is the moon. And it's depicted as dark. It's beautiful. So under that we have the Page of Swords. And it came out like on the side, right? So I'm going to read it upright. Then we have the 8 of Pentacles. I'm going to show you the card, but it did come out in reverse. And the moon. So it's a really interesting kind of mix, because since I've decided to turn the Page of Swords upright. Page of Swords are communication. But the moon is usually when something is shrouded in mystery, right? And is not either being seen or being heard, or you're not aware of, or not fully aware, right? It's really in the background. You might sense something, but you're not too sure. So it's kind of like it's like a dichotomy. It's very, very like, how does it mesh? It doesn't, right? So it's up to you if you want to think about, if I had decided to turn the Page of Swords and read it in reverse, then it would just emphasize that there's no communication. So it would maybe blend better with the energy of the moon here on the table. So I want you to think about your own personal situation, because in this case, it was a choice of mine to read the card upright. So the idea is for you to apply it how it makes sense to you, right? Are you really being kept in the dark fully and there's no communication and you know this for a fact? Or are you in a situation where you're receiving communication, but the communication is mysterious, or it's one of those communications where you're not... either it comes out as misinterpretation, right? So you're not understanding each other, whoever you're communicating with. Or it's coming through as you can't decipher what you're hearing. You're not understanding the message, basically. So the card in the middle is the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So it's talking about something that is not working or not working out, right? Or it could point to your work. So this communication could be happening within the context of your job. Or it's pointing to an area where you either have applied a lot of energy and efforts towards, and now you're feeling like you don't want to put in any energy and effort into it, or that the energy you've put into it didn't pan out, or it didn't bring the results that you were hoping for. So many possibilities. It's up to you to tag whichever one resonates for you. Let's draw out of the Rider-Waite Tarot and get some more cards. Ten of Wands came out. I'm going to draw some more, of course. So it burned, I can't say it, it burdens you, right? This non-communication or miscommunication or missed communication, or how do we say, the fact that you're not really getting the message, or you're not really fully understanding what is being communicated, makes the situation very heavy for you. Maybe the fact that it's not working out is what's weighing on you. Or maybe you're just overworked as well, right? Because if you take it just in the broader context of your job, maybe you're just like super overworked. It is really job related, I'm telling you. This is a Three of Pentacles. Definitely linked to collaboration. So maybe communication within a team. Or it could be with one or two other partners, right? If we want to just stick to the three, being the Three of Pentacles. What I am, I'm just going to add this before I pull a third card. You're putting it like here, something didn't work out. I think you might have stopped putting energy into something. But the other cards are showing me that you've worked really hard, that you might still be working really hard, and that some of the work that you've put in was effective, right? Don't think that everything was not working. It's not the case at all. This could have yielded results in the past. It's not let me get, okay, this one wants to come out. Nice, Justice. This is really job related, legal matters, the context of something very formal. You know, the Justice fell right under the moon here. So it's, I'm reading this as, and it's the Sword of Truth, right, that she's holding. So it's interesting that you're getting truth, you're getting clarity, yet it's not coming through clearly. That's what it's basic. Another contradiction, right? I was telling you, if the Page of Swords, I was reading it upright, which was my initial choice, was communication. Justice is a form of communication. Something very formal being communicated to you, like a, it's almost like a judgment, right? Like it could be a subpoena, it could be, you know what I mean? Like it could be all of these things related to that particular realm of legal matters, or things that come from authorities, or governmental, of course. Even things that are pertaining to like registrations, like in schools, or in any form of, anywhere you'd be registering, things like that. So any instances where you'd be receiving like some form of, almost like a judgment, like a final decision, you're receiving a final notice. I'm saying final, it doesn't have to be final, but there's something about the importance of it, and there's something about the fact that it's meaningful. Maybe that's the best word. Yet, the moon here, okay, it could be related to, it's coming in because of this moon phase that I was describing at the beginning, being the new moon and the eclipse, etc. So it could be coming because it's under this particular energy, right? The beams of I want to tell you something though, because these three cards together, there's a beautiful sort of a positive progression, right? The hard work that you're putting in is actually creating a lot of collaboration and is bringing a lot of balance and is being formalized and being almost, I have the word made sacred. And I say that, I know it's not the Hierophant, but it's made sacred because it's being sealed, okay? Like, you know, like this is a marriage card to an extent, you know, because the contract of marriage. So in that sense, you know. So it's a really positive outcomes. It's interesting, this the reason I'm saying that, and I'm emphasizing, I mean, I use the word interesting way too much. I have to cut that out. But I'm noticing that the Eight of Pentacles is in reverse, right? Whereas you have the Three of Pentacles right under that is upright. So it's almost, again, another sort of mini contradiction where something wasn't working out, something is working now. Or, like I said, it's emphasizing that not everything did not work, right? Or how do you say? You know what I'm saying. But yet, you're feeling this, there is a friction. I'm sensing there's a friction because it's almost creating almost like a back and forth situation with this particular dynamic that is linked with teamwork, communication, and these instances, more formal instances that are, you know, having an impact on this particular situation. I'm keeping it more general because by staying a bit more general like that, I mean, you could maybe find a way to make it, to resonate with it, I want to say. Not that I want it to resonate, like if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just saying it gives you more room for interpretation to see how it applies or how it's playing out in your own life. That's what I meant. Okay, let's draw an oracle. I love these cards. They're quite symbolic. This one. Gazelle. Gazelle. Okay. What does the gazelle have to say? Gazelle. Nice. It says change of direction. When manifesting a desired outcome, there are phases when progress is slow and altogether absent. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And it says there are moments, there are phases. It's really... Okay, Gazelle suggests that sometimes a solution comes through a sudden shift in perspective. So this communication I'm telling you about that might happen during the phase of this dark moon, a fresh and even drastically changed outlook offers great inspiration. Move decisively in a new direction. I was mentioning something about, oh no, maybe that was a different reading. Sorry, I'm not sure. Okay, never mind. Move decisively in a new direction and you have the opportunity to fall back in love with your original vision. Interesting. I think maybe these phases of back and forth and like slow progress or things not working out. This card here, you know, it's a building card, but it's also, for me, it points to architecture, right? And for me, architecture makes me think of blueprints. So for me, like it's very obvious, at least to me, like the correlation between blueprints and having a vision. Because for me, a vision is like a blueprint. It's like precise enough and yet not too precise, right? In terms of, you know, a blueprint usually will be like very detailed, but it's still like the schematics of something, right? Or like the skeleton, if you want. So in that sense, anyway, I'm off topic now. Okay. Gazelle is a love poem, spontaneous and full of heart. As you begin to embody these qualities, there's room for unimagined possibilities to emerge. So flexible in your process, agile. That's it. So it's for me. I'm really there's a change in perspective. You need to have your vision. You're basically moving into a new direction, and it's also pointing to, and this is what I really want to emphasize, that as you move towards your manifestation and your vision, you know, it's like 2 steps forward, maybe 1 step back, you know, and you know what I mean? Like it's never just even just a straight line, or it's not always just a steady progression, right? So well, for the cards, angel number, and at the end I'll draw a trinket for you. You know, the vision is also the clarity that the justice can bring, like this balance, because ultimately it's balance, right? Fairness, but it's also, when things are balanced, they're, again, another, for me, it's how I associate things, but it makes things clear. Let me explain further. If you keep changing your mind, there's probably more confusion than if you're steady. Usually you're clearer in terms of where you're going, what you want, etc. That's what I mean. Okay, 1 card. 1717. This number signifies luck is coming your way, both romantically and professionally. You are going to have a lot of original creative ideas in the days to come. So more things to feed your vision. It goes well hand in hand with the gazelle, right? A shift in perspective and in a new direction. I like that there's the word original creative ideas. That's beautiful. And I feel that they're in the context of your work, or what you do for a living, or even just creatively. But there's pentacles here. I mean, there's probably money to be earned, possibly, right? Okay, trinket time. Let's see. The microscope. Okay, so it's interesting. You need to get very clear about something. I find it fascinating that the moon would be so present, being a reading, you know, with the backdrop of this eclipse, the new moon, the dark moon. So no light, no moonlight. And yet there's huge clarity, and there's huge, you know, there's quite an emphasis on details with this microscope, you know, and it talks about just this vision and this blueprint, and all of that is so, it's like laying the groundwork for something further out, right? So maybe the moon is not so, maybe she's not her typical moon, being, how can I put it? It's hard to express. Let me try to find the right words. Maybe we could read the card differently this time, that she's only like, the fact that she's here is only emphasizing that this is happening currently because of the transit. And she's only here to point that out, right? Instead of maybe shrouding things with mystery, as she might usually do when we interpret this card, you know, along the typical or the usual interpretations. Okay, well, that's an interesting reading. There's food for thought here in terms of I want to say eventually what you will do with the communication that you will be receiving soon. I definitely feel that you will be pay a lot more attention with the microscope. You're really going to pay a lot more attention to what it opens up for you. And I think it has to do with this new, so both romantic but also professional future. All right, that's it for tonight. If you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate that you like it, share, but mostly subscribe. I would love to see you again. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.